Mike Schopp, Adam Krautwurst, The Deep End, May 17th. Welcome. We're going to draft tonight on UnderDog, Best Ball Mania, which we've argued, about what The Deep End is many times. The main event on FFPC seemed pretty much deep end. This is 107 times as many teams. So if that is, this is. Welcome to The Deep End. We'll have some fun tonight. Join us in the draft even. It's going to be possible as we haven't signed up yet on UnderDog. We'll give you a minute to get your clickers ready, and Adam will tell everybody how it works as soon as we watch these sharks swim around. Sharks don't swim, they hunt.
They hunt. I was trying to hunt.
I think swimming is not a word sharks would use.
No, and hunting is not a word I should have used on Sunday because I was not hunting. I wanted to hunt. I wanted to hunt pins, but I didn't.
You did, but the pins were unscathed. How about that? We had golf on Sunday with a dynasty draft. I'm sure we'll talk about that on Thursday when we do more dynasty. But tonight is UnderDog Best Ball Mania night. Now, I am familiar with UnderDog, but not to the extent you might be, to fill 451,000 teams, obviously there are going to be players, and I know some of them who are in, dozens of these drafts, every day.
Oh yeah.
So what do we need to know?
Yeah. So I pulled it up. We'll enter the draft here. So then if we need to, kill some time while the draft fills, that'd be great. But I wanted to give people a chance to draft with us. So are you ready to get in this draft, Mike?
Yes. And you want the 8 hour per pick option?
I do not want the 8 hour per pick option. All right. On the count of three. On three. 1, 2, 3. Let's get in this thing here.
There was an extra question about my balance.
I know. Me too.
I don't see you.
We're waiting for two.
Filled.
Waiting for one person.
Yep. Okay, good.
Perfect. Okay. So we are in the same one. Awesome. I hope everybody got in there with us. But yeah, so this is, listen, it's not the deep end as far as entry fee. It's only $25, but the prize is it's $2 million. I think it's $1 million to the regular season winner, I think for most points. And I think it's $1 million in the tournament, in the postseason tournament. So
first 14 weeks being the regular season.
Yes. Yeah. So, and it might be more than that because I think there's some other prizes as well. Obviously it pays out a certain amount, but this is a very top heavy league. Oh no. What's your team name?
Schopp, third.
Oh, you're third. Okay. Awesome.
Why?
There you are. Because I didn't see you and I'm like, oh no, is he 12th? But
I'm off in 12th. Tonight I'm third and you're 8th, so that'll be better for our show.
That's right. 8 AJ Burns, a guy that I know pretty well. Twitter best ball guy. He's picking 12th. But
I have a friend, Pat Sully, but I think there are probably like 4 million Patrick Sullys. Here we go.
Might be him. Who knows? But all right, you're on the clock already. It started Jonathan Taylor, Christian McCaffrey at the 1 and the 2. This is start 3 receivers, half PPR, not super flex. The fun thing about this time of year is just with all the different drafts that we're doing, all the different leagues that we're doing, like I have to remind myself, is this FFPC tight end premium? Is this FFWC, super flex tournament? Is this, UnderDog? There's just so many, like I got slow drafts going on all these different sites. I got to kind of refocus here for each specific tournament.
Well, I believe in you. King Kaz could be Nick.
Oh, that's definitely Nick. Oh yeah. Nixon.
It is
Nixon. I think he liked that. I think because I tagged Don in this thing, so could be Nick too. So we got Kupp as the number 1 receiver, the 3rd pick overall. What are you thinking?
The most recent thought I've given this is you tweeting at somebody that he's the number 1 receiver.
That was AJ Burns, actually.
And he's in here?
He's in here. He's picked 12.
Okay. So I feel like with these FFPC drafts and now this one and a couple others, Cup, Jefferson, Chase are all almost the same for me. And I want to talk about diversification a little bit at some point. We'll see if we can do that tonight. But so what the right ratio is, I don't really have that sort of structurally sound in my head, but it's sort of an instinct that, well, I didn't pick Cooper Kupp the last time or two, so I will this time.
Confirmed. That is Nick. Oh, it's a family affair. Yeah, no, I get it. And the fun thing about these two is, they're only $25. I'm certainly not going to max it out the 150 entries, but I'll do a bunch because it's nice to kind of it's good practice. You're competing like we're showing here. We're competing with guys that know what they're doing. So it's really good practice, and it's a way this is the time where you can really diversify. Like this time you take Kupp, maybe next time you take Kupp at 3, and then maybe the time after that you take Jefferson, because you don't want 100% Kupp. So yeah,
right.
And I think it depends on where you draft too. Like again, I might not think Jonathan Taylor is the number 1 overall pick, but every time I get the number 1 overall, I'll probably pick him because I can get McCaffrey at 4, at 5, at 6, at 2, at 3. Whereas Taylor isn't really falling past 1. Maybe sometimes he's at 2 or 3. So if you want exposure to Jonathan Taylor, you have to take him when you have the 101.
Well, the bye weeks again throw a wrench into things with that information from last week. Like we didn't know whenever the schedule came out before that the 6 teams are on bye week 14. Now this is 1 to 14 regular season, right? So not the factor it might be in a main event where you're into the playoffs or the football guys, which is also underway.
Yeah.
So you go Adams, Debo.
Yeah, speaking of exposure, I don't have a ton of exposure to Debo. I don't love this spot in the draft. So,
really?
Yeah, I mean, again, I have to start 3 receivers. I went Adams in the first round. I really like the running backs in these rooms, in these 3 wide receiver starts that fall to the 3rd, 4th, 5th round. I really think there's some really high upside running backs there. So I don't want to corner myself into having to take a receiver in those rounds when I really like the running back. So we'll see how that pans out. I also, in that spot, I mean, me, I love Mike Evans, but I just can't believe that he's going in the middle of the 2nd round. Is that because people think Godwin's going to miss?
Well, there was some sort of, if you want it, negative news on Godwin from his coach.
Yeah.
But that doesn't have to mean anything. I haven't really thought about that too much.
Sure. So yeah, I mean, I think that I just don't love the receivers here. So I'm diversifying. I can't get on board with Tyreek Hill that early. I mean, there's a chance that Debo, and I get the Debo fade stuff, but again, I'm going to draft, including these underdogs, these cheap best balls. I'm going to draft, hundreds of teams probably. I'm not going to fade Debo on every single one of them. And there's a chance he gets traded to someplace really awesome. There's a chance he stays there and they give him the same volume. So I don't know. Well, he's my wide receiver too. I don't love it. I don't hate it, but
you got to get the stack right. This is a tournament where I think you want to get pretty crazy.
Sure. Yeah.
450. If you think about 100 times as many teams as the main event, every time with the main event or the football guys, oh wow, they had this person. How did this happen? How did James Robinson happen 2 years ago? I mean, not in the whole thing, but you've got to be not just willing, but excited to take chances in this format.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's all about content anyway, so it's get wild.
It is. Ooh, this is interesting to have Hill fall this far. I'll take Tyreek Hill. I wasn't going to, but
yeah. I mean, I was thinking about him with my last pick. So AJ Brown, Tyreek Hill. I mean, that's a nice little Cooper Kupp. There you go. So,
do you think I should draft only receivers?
Try it out. Listen, you want to get crazy. You want to get nuts. But this is what I'm talking about here. So I'm up in three picks. There's a couple of guys I really, really like.
There should be.
Yeah. Do you feel that way about every kind of round moving? Do you think every round, you should 2 to 3 guys, or you should force yourself to find guys that you like because you're going to have to take somebody?
I find what happens to me is that in the first 2 or 3 rounds, I know to sort of a magnet takes me to different players. That's in groups that are sort of ingrained in my mind, and it's what positions you want to build around, and all of that sort of. I feel like I know that intuitively, so I end up with different players, like the way Cooper Kupp happened tonight, or Tyreek Hill. Like it's just sort of someone a little bit different, maybe feels like good value in the middle, and plus you're maybe a little bit weary from the draft. I mean, this is a speed draft, 30 seconds.
Right.
I end up on more of the same guys in the middle. So a guy like Tony Pollard, if I may name somebody, is somebody
Absolutely.
that like I feel like a lot rides on him for me, because I get to the middle and there's so many players then that you don't like that. Okay, well, he's still here. I mean, he might be one of like 6 or 7 guys like that. So I think I'm finding, and then at the end that happens too. You have favorites like, oh, this guy still left, and we'll get done tonight, and there'll be at least as the way I see it, a pretty good list of players that I like for value that won't get drafted at all. So
Sure.
I'm able to more naturally or easily diversify in the beginning rounds, middle to late. I just fall for certain players more often.
Yeah, and that's kind of the way that it goes, and that'll probably change throughout the course of the season too, or the course of the drafting season. But
Really, Adam, it's really a discipline point. Like I need to sort of learn more discipline and be prepared enough to not. I mean, I don't want all my teams to have those same guys, in rounds 12 through 18, say.
Yeah.
So more discipline, more preparation, more names. That's the key.
Yes, yeah, and that is a really good point. Like, you're gonna have to face situations like I faced in the second round there. Like, man, I don't really like a lot of these guys, so let's just diversify. Which might not even be the best way to do that, but and that's where drafting to your strengths comes in. Like, maybe after this draft, I look back and go, you know what? I don't really like the receivers there. I like the running backs a little bit better. So maybe I go receiver, running back, or something like that, and see how that build works out for me. Maybe I go receiver, running back, because I just took Breece Hall, and before that I took James Conner. So those were
I would
kind
have
of
taken Breece Hall, but he was where I was going.
Yeah. So it's like if those guys are like, maybe I go with a receiver, then 3 running backs, and then wait for 12 rounds before I go running back again. So, I'll do stuff like that. Like, that's what these are for. And yeah, you got to get crazy to win some of this stuff. But
I went McLaurin here. Is that crazy enough for you?
Wide receiver. What was it? Does it say what wide receiver he was when you took him? No, I don't think
no, I didn't look, but he's my 4th in 4 rounds.
There you go. Oh yeah, that's right. That was the McLaurin reference. Yeah, listen, hey, you got to start 3. You're going 0 RB build, not believe it or not, in these underdog drafts, when you got to start 3 receivers, and then in the climate that we're in these days, 0 RB isn't. It's not even that crazy. It's crazier now if you see 4 running backs go in a row, which is what a change from when I first started playing.
Well, this pick for me was that I had 3 running backs about the same. And I don't know if I'll be a good team, but it worked the way I wanted.
Yeah.
Getting to Dobbins, because none of the running backs seemed like a good deal at, what was it, 410? But,
right.
McLaurin was for me.
Yep. Dobbins. I like that. And Dobbins
burning a hole, baby.
At the 5-3. Let's go.
Burning a hole in my pocket, in their pocket.
4 straight receivers, and you get Dobbins there in the 5th. That's a great 0 RB running back there for sure.
We could double the promotion this way, because maybe the nature of this build will get outside attention.
Sure. Absolutely. 4 straight receivers. All right. I'm on the clock here. Look, Kaz going with Judy. He doesn't care about the allegations.
I'm not worried. We talked about him last week. I felt like, from what I read from some smart, knowledgeable people, that he's probably on the field. Who knows?
Yeah. No, I think he is too.
Adam, while you're doing this, I'll tell you. So we had a dynasty draft on Sunday, and I guess it would have been yesterday morning. I'm going through updating the portfolio and everything. I have more Jerry Jeudy than any other player.
Really? Good for you.
But that is risky. We all like the player. There are a lot of receivers like that. I just drafted one in McLaurin. But the situation, yes, Russell Wilson, still, there are so many other promising players in that passing attack and the running back too. Who knows? Jeudy doesn't have to really smash, and I'm going to want him to. But there is Sutton who just went to you.
Yeah, I'll take Sutton there. I think he'll be okay. And then if something does happen to Jeudy, we're sitting pretty there. But so AJ Burns starts with a Joe Mixon, Mark Andrews start. Love Mark Andrews this year. Mixon, Andrews, Mike Williams, Marquise Brown, Brandon Cooks, Jalen Hurts. So he's got a running back, a starting tight end, 3 starting receivers, and a quarterback. So he's looking to kind of fill out that starting lineup. And he sees RB2 as kind of the streaming spot on his team. And he's probably right. It's probably the least valuable spot on a team, especially when you got to start 3 receivers, is the RB2. So let's see what he ends up doing there.
Got to find players in a mad format tournament like this. Just who are the guys that have the potential for the public to be the most wrong about in the wrong direction? You're not going to be able to predict an injury. You're not going to. Maybe you will win with a backup running back like a Khalil Herbert or somebody like that, getting suddenly to play 17 games and you win that way. But who are the guys where there's certain assumptions being made? I feel like this choice, this research, it's about putting the most time in or listening to the right people, and then you come away from them thinking, all right, well, this is what people are saying, and just always challenge it, always test it. Does this have to be right? What are the chances that it isn't right? I mean, there are teams that are so boring, I don't even want to listen to people talk about them. But I recognize those are the ones. Give that extra effort, because maybe it's just sort of people are ignoring them, and you can find a little bit of value that way.
Yeah, no, for sure. I know this draft has been a little bit tougher here in the middle rounds because it's just harder it's negative EV to draft live on stream, right? Because I'm not throwing any. I can't queue anybody up, nothing like that. But and like you said, it's only 30 seconds. I love the live drafts. I love the 30 seconds a pick because it puts you to the test. There's no, you're not going to get any advantage. We're not going to get some injury news generally during the draft because the drafts go 30 minutes. So it's how much injury news can you get during that time? But yeah, no, I like this format. I like this style. What's Cosby got going on? King Cos starts Kelsey. Oh my gosh, some FFPC vibes. Kelsey at number 6.
Right.
Mike Evans, who I love. Deontay Johnson in the 3rd. Mahomes stack in the 4th. Jerry Jeudy, Josh Jacobs, and somebody brought up a good point. Sean's in here. Sean's talking.
Oh, he is
from the Bills.
Yeah.
He said if you want to get super fun, look at the Week 17 game stacks. Absolutely, Week 17 game stacks, and just find out who's got the best matchups. I mean, you could probably, and I'll probably do this. Not tonight, obviously, it's too late. But you could go into a draft saying, you know what, I have my 2 favorite games Week 17 are these 2 teams and these 2 teams. So I'm just going to draft from these 4 teams. You know what I mean? And just take, maybe not every pick, you can't, but maybe 70% of my players are from these 2 games in Week 17. And if I can somehow get to that week, I'm gonna crush because I'm stacked and I'm correlated and I'm running run back. I'm running back players, and so I think that.
I think that's fun to do. I mean, a lot of us, I think probably most of us who are in this deep, love the process, love that level or even deeper levels of analysis.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like the problem I have there is I think I feel like I'm right. It's been a few years that have been this way. I think trying to predict defense is almost entirely a waste of time. So you can have obviously good offensive teams. The Bills and the Bengals play in week 17, and that might make how good their defenses are largely irrelevant. Okay, fine. But if I'm trying to do I feel like it's easy to do too much of that because you think somebody's defense is good or somebody else's isn't. And it's just way all over the road if you sort of think back and look back on how that goes. So, stacking wise, offense wise, fine, but I don't want to do the defense part of that work.
Yeah, I was kind of more referring to like who do the Bills have the final week of the fantasy? They end it with the Bengals. Right? I was thinking more of something like that, where you get a game that's just going to explode for points. So you pick a bunch of Bills, a bunch of Bengals, and I think did the Chiefs play the Chargers that week, or is that the week before? I think they played them that week too on Sunday night for football. So you might go just draft Chiefs and Chargers and Bills and Bengals. Now, granted, those are a lot of really good players. It's going to be hard to. But you're even getting maybe the third receiver and you're getting the second running back. Just so, hey, if I make week 17 and I'm alive, man, I've got all the stacks and all that type of stuff. Yeah, I was kind of, but I do think there is some value into finding maybe some bad defenses, or at least to me, just maybe comparing the two teams in general. Like this team is probably going to blow out this team, regardless of defense or offense or whatever. So to take the team that's going to win, take their players is probably not a bad idea.
Well, it's January 2nd. The Bills play the Bengals at night. What's the total? And that is probably something you can find. I don't know the answer, but it's not going to be 60. It's going to be low 50s maybe will be the total. The opener for the Bills and the Rams is 52. So what is Bills Bengals going to be in January? Probably low 50s. Right. What is any other average matchup? You want to maybe avoid the bad teams, but we already know to do that. We're already doing that. It's already built in, I'm not drafting. We're not drafting all the Texans or the Bears or whatever. So what is an average line going to be that week? 44, 45? It's not a huge difference. I'm not sure this point holds water. Like I'm sure like with all this stuff, somebody else has done the work and can answer that question, but I'm just telling you why I don't do a lot of that.
Yeah. And again, I think a lot of times, like you said, you got to get crazy with some of these builds. You got to have an imagination, right? You gotta be like, okay, if this happens, like you're drafting a team where, when you're right, the team smashes, right? So I think you kind of want to have an imagination when it comes to certain stuff. And obviously you're not going to draft every team that way, but I think that was kind of Sean's point was, hey, if you want to get crazy, just look at the week 17 game stacks, so.
And you have to in this, and you want to, then the second half of that would be to avoid the obvious ones, I think.
Yeah, that too. If you want to look at it,
like the key point, like I'm thinking of what the best matchups are on paper, but that's not going to beat 450,000 other teams. You want the ones that they are playing each other in the stacks. That I feel like is the answer to this. So good.
Yeah, no, I like it. And I think even Sean mentioned here too. So I think maybe it's Denver KC in that last game. Denver KC for the Judy pick. So he's got the KC stack, and then he runs it back with Judy. So
how is the show going? Because I'm not watching it. I am just. It's so fast.
Oh yeah, no, it's.
Is the show going well?
I think the show's going well. I don't know. I hope.
Who decides that?
That's right. Who knows?
who decides if it's going well?
Right. So, yeah, like I said, this might be our shortest show of the year, and we're doing a draft.
We'll have to keep going once the draft is over. This is round 9.
I know. No round.
I'm going to need at least as long as this draft to figure out what actually just happened in the last, however long.
Right.
No, okay.
This is fun for sure.
I want Edmonds.
Do it. I want Edmonds. Do it. Chase Edmonds, Miami. I mean, they paid him. You know, he's a guy that he reminds me of kind of like a James Conner with his teammate last year, where Conner was going in that 9th round. And it's like, I think Conner's kind of the guy there. Edmonds, I think Edmonds is kind of the guy there. Now, there's no one in Miami really getting drafted ahead of Edmonds, but he's a guy that can catch, he can run.
Yes.
You know, Cook, James Cook, I would have liked to take him. But so Cook ahead of Singletary.
Right.
Oh, baby. Someone listens to the deep end. I like it. I like it. All right. I was nervous about this pick, Mike. I was nervous he wouldn't make it to me. I need him. I got the Niners, the heavy Niners stack.
Ooh.
I got Lance. I got Ayuk. I got Debo. So I took Ayuk over my guy Sky Moore 2 rounds ago because I had Debo. So I wanted to go with that stack. And hey, listen, if Debo leaves town and goes and becomes an alpha somewhere else, now I've got Ayuk who would hopefully go to the moon. I'll have Lance with Ayuk. So, I mean, I like that stack. It's probably pretty common because it's pretty easy to get, but I kind of like that stack kind of falling into my lap there.
Oh yeah.
So that'll be fun. Hopefully.
Draft Garoppolo.
Yeah. I was just about to ask you, what do your instincts tell you about that situation? Because I know you're pretty locked into that. I know you were a big Lance guy last year, and like what's your gut telling you right now?
It's amazing I have a roof over my head with all the Lance shares that busted last year.
That's right.
I won enough some other way. But I mean, my guess would be that Lance plays and Garoppolo is a backup or he's somewhere else. But he's a threat. I like how Evan Silva put it on his show, Established the Run, where he's like, a key point to remember is don't forget that the 49ers know they can win with Garoppolo because they've done it. So right. I think I'm not sure what insiders say or whether I'm right, but it looks like an organization where the coach and the GM don't always see eye to eye. And that's the Lance pick, in the first place. So the one thing that might need to be said is that Garoppolo has been injured and maybe there's a trade out there for him. It's just nobody's really reporting it or even sometimes those things can be announced and they just wait until a physical is passed or something else. So I think there's some chance he's there. There's some chance he starts, some chance he's somewhere else. But my guess is Lance plays, and then who knows? I mean, they have weapons. They can run the ball too. Who knows what it amounts to? But I think you almost have to have Lance on the field. It's not a Jordan Love situation here.
Right. No, it's not a Jordan Love. And there's a chance that Lance comes into camp and just is sensational. And it's just like, oh, this is all put to bed. And all these Lance shares were getting, super, super late. And I want to point out again why this is so difficult to do. I'm sitting, 2 picks away. I was going to take Alexander Madison or Rashad Penny. And I'm sitting here listening to you and I'm watching and all of a sudden it's on me. I'm like, all right. And I go to take them and they're both gone. And I've got 12 seconds to pick.
Oh,
like, where did they go? They were just there. They went back to back picks.
Terrible.
By AJ and Shank 814. Yeah, I just got shanked.
I've been shanked.
Shanked.
If I didn't have a t-shirt that's at the deep end, I'd want one that says I've just been shanked.
Just not sniped. Shanked is the new.
Are we talking about your golf again?
That's right.
Hey, listen, it's been a year. With Patrick Mahomes, it took 5 minutes of the first rookie practice for you to hear, oh my God, with this guy.
Yeah.
And then the whole year went by and he still didn't start, but it was consistent. The whole year was like, you got to see this guy play. Lance has not been that at all. There's not been any buzz. He can still produce points. I think he's still the floor is still at. He runs. He's an athlete, and he's on a for the most part the right team. But there has not been any buzz about his excellence the whole time.
Yeah, no, I get it, and I think a lot of that has to do with. But Mahomes, I think a lot of that was hey, his physical. He's slinging the ball all over the place. He looks insane. I don't think there's been any questions about Lance's physical tools.
No.
I think it's been hey, he's struggling to pick up the offense. So I think if he can pick up the offense, I think his talent will really shine through. And I think I just hope Shanahan goes all in on him, because I don't want a Justin Fields situation where it's like, oh, we didn't really want him, but the GM wanted him, and now I'm not going to really, I'm going to go with Garoppolo because he knows the offense. Like, just unleash this dude. He look, and I'm going to use this because the guy, he played for the Niners too, but he looks like a Colin Kaepernick out there, just with even the way he moves, the long throwing, like he's just an athlete. Let him go, terrorize. But we'll see.
Well, I mean, it's big egos and it's big money. And if Shanahan was never on board, he might feel like he has to capitulate to do that. And I wouldn't assume that he necessarily ever does it. So, I mean, Fields a year ago, wow, the Bears of all teams make this move in the draft. Everybody loves him as an athlete. 1 year later, he doesn't play week one. They go slow. They fire the coach. It already feels like it's over. Almost like it's over. And today ESPN releases its football power index, and they're the number one likeliest team to have the worst season, the number one pick next year, in which case they do what? They draft a quarterback to replace Justin Fields.
Yeah.
So, like, if how do I want to put it? Doesn't really matter. We talked on WGR today about whether they should trade him. Like, if your fans would erupt, but okay, I can handle this for a while. Carolina needs a quarterback. What do they want to give you for Justin Fields? Like, right. I don't hear anybody talking about that, but everybody is talking like the Bears are a disaster waiting to happen. They added no skill players. They want to draft first next year. Where does that leave him? So what should they do?
Yeah. If they want to draft first next year, they should trade him. They should absolutely trade him, because you're not going to because you want to at least see if he's good. And if he is good, and it's like a Jalen Hurts situation where, even if he's good, okay, he's good, make the playoff, whatever. But do we think we win a Super Bowl with him? If the answer is no, you don't. Well, now you just won 9 games, and now you don't have the first pick. So that's the tough part about the whole thing.
Well, you trade him now before you put 10 more games of bad film on the record.
Or that. Yeah.
But, it's not going to happen. That never happens. I guess with Josh Rosen that happened, but they had already replaced him first. So that was like, that needed to happen. And Fields is not that. Maybe it'll work because he's superhuman, but as ESPN wrote today, he was their lowest ranked quarterback in the league in their QBR. So it does not. Fields. It does not spell good.
I feel like Zach Wilson was worse. I feel like I've heard he was worse also, but it was. I'm sure it was close. And again, I don't know. The players, I don't think Allen Robinson gave the old college try there either last year. I think they just hated the coach. A lot of people wanted out. I mean, I remember Justin Fields. I forget which game it was. You'll probably know, but he was it might have been against San Francisco maybe, where he's just sitting on the bench, like in the first quarter with his head on, like with a glazed look on his face. What am I doing? What is going on here? Like, he just looked shell shocked. He looked like he hated it there. Justin Fields, I'm referring to, and it's just,
who knows? It's sort of easy to wonder, right? But I don't know. It's just, you want to see them do something for him to give him what looks like a fighting. Did Algier really go right behind me? I can't believe it. Oh, wow. That's good. I was going to take him next, and I thought it was early, but should have.
He wouldn't have made it. Oh, actually, you're in front of me. Yeah. I was going to, Algier was in my mind's queue. But
well, I'll get ready to take a deep end favorite.
Ooh.
If you were watching last week when we spun the wheel.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see if these two guys were.
The wheel. Were you guys watching, Patrick?
Doesn't matter. Maybe he was, but I'm taking Henderson.
I like it. The rock solid.
Like the player, can't hate the price. Guy in front of him tore his Achilles not even that long ago still.
Yep.
And, Henderson has been hurt a lot himself, but it's him, a rookie, and Akers. And, okay.
Absolutely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. Sorry, I'm trying to get my roster constructed.
Yeah, do that. I'm just going to point out, UnderDog loves my team because I had projected for 2,324 points. That is so many points. I mean, that'll easily win the week.
Well, it's definitely more than what I'm projected for, but I think you've had one more pick than me. Hold on. Let me get another pick.
Oh, right.
Let me get another pick in here.
Yeah, do that. See what happens.
Gotta catch up.
Side bet.
I got to catch up. Do you think? Is it on me finally?
Van, I just put Van in the queue and he goes.
Do you think Hunter Henry will get me closer to you or no? Probably not. 2,319. Am I up there with you?
You're 5 back.
I love it.
We are in round 13. We're going 20.
We're going 18, I think.
Not even 20. Wow.
I know. I love it. Get in and get out. Yeah, 18 rounds.
18. So
and then we'll go through and we'll recap some of these teams here.
Oh, absolutely.
We gotta give everyone
Is it time for like the huge long shots yet?
No. But I don't know what you mean by huge long shot. You talking about?
Are you sure?
You're talking about Diami Brown? It's probably too early for Diami Brown.
Oh, okay. I was.
Will Fuller. I like that pick by AJ. Will Fuller. He's a guy that if he gets picked up by somebody, not if, I'm sure he will, like his stock will probably go up.
Davis Price.
He took a deep end favorite, Davis Price. He's more of a dynasty deep end favorite.
Well, we drafted him well before the NFL draft in our 1K when nobody knew who anybody was.
Yep.
So that felt good. But, you know, I've read that he's not the best prospect, which kind of goes without saying given his draft capital, but who cares? I mean, I care, not who cares. But San Francisco, I mean, there should be some hope for him. So I think it's fine drafting him. I mean, I've been doing it.
Yeah, you have been doing it. And, you know, I've been drafting a lot of Khalil Herbert. And did I hear today that Cohen like blew his knee out for the year?
Tore his Achilles.
On Instagram Live.
Terrible.
Nothing good ever happens on Instagram Live, people.
That is so true. My mom always says that. She's like, stay away from that.
Stay away from Instagram Live.
When I was a wee lad, that's how she used to talk. Stay away from Instagram Live. So, yeah.
Right. So I took Khalil, who I think might be as good as the starting running back there, but we'll see. Who cares? I got him in the 14th round. Nice handcuff. Not a handcuff because I don't have the starter, but
those guys.
How do you feel about your? You know, you don't have to go through pick by pick. I know you're picking now, but what do you think about your team? Are you feeling comfortable? I don't love this is the point in the draft. I go, okay, I have 2 quarterbacks, I have 2 tight ends. I'm okay with finishing with that. If I don't like my RBs and receivers, and if I don't love like the way it's come out, I don't love taking Ramondre Stevenson there on like a panic pick with 8 seconds left. I didn't like that. So I feel like I'm down a running back right now.
You did that?
I did that. That was when they went back-to-back running backs.
Oh, right in front of you. Yeah.
You're right. And I was looking for the guy. I'm like, wait, they took him. Crap. There's 10 seconds left. So I do like Ramondre. I think he's the best running back there, but they just keep adding running backs and adding running backs and adding running backs. So I won't have a lot of Ramondre. It was kind of a panic pick tonight, but so I'll probably, it's a long way to say I probably will end this draft with 2 quarterbacks and 2 tight ends and try to fill in more running backs and receivers. What do you think about well, you're coming up here. You're picking.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide.
But there's a couple RB. I actually don't mind the RBs in this area, as far as rookies that could win jobs or win roles. And
no, I agree with that. My question right there was take the 3rd quarterback now or never. I was talking about this on WGR today. You get down here, Adam, and it's like it's either a quarterback that you sort of have a bad taste in your mouth about, or you put it off and then you end up on a guy that may not even play. I mean, veterans who were signed before draft picks happened. I mean, you got obvious names. So I think like I was thinking tonight I would pick a 3rd one before I had to pick somebody that it's really not likely or even 100% that he'll play week 1. So that's what I did. The running backs for me are the value here, but I went elsewhere.
I really like that now or never point because in a tournament like this, it's like I'm gonna take and I really like Goff, especially where you got him. But it's like in a tournament like this, I'm gonna take a quarterback. If I'm gonna take a third quarterback, he's got to be a guy that can make a difference for me, for a week or two. You know what I mean? If it's a guy that has no upside, like Goff's got big time upside with all those weapons there. But once you get down into like let me pull him up here. Like there's not even many. Drew Lock, Kenny Pickett. I mean, they have some weapons there, but like Marcus Mariota, Davis Mills, Carson Wentz, Mac Jones, those guys are not going to make a difference for you. But Goff, he could have one or two really, really good weeks or more. So I think it's now with Goff or never where you're just not even going to take a third one.
Yeah, like I don't know what.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say I don't know what studies show about how many you should have. You want to be unique. But I feel like it's 18 rounds. I mean, I want to not have to play somebody that I think or draft somebody that I think won't even like Trubisky. Does he play at all? I feel like that's the right question. Does he play at all?
Right.
So.
Right. And I think it depends like when you like, and when I say make a difference, I mean, is he going to make a difference for your team? Like if you don't take a quarterback in the first 12 rounds, well then sure. The 3 quarterbacks you take after round 12, they're not going to be great. And so they need each other. You need to kind of time the good weeks correctly. But if you take a rock solid QB1, your QB3, that's, Matt Corral, he's not going to offer any value to your team really. I don't think.
Dearness Johnson. What's going
boy.
on there? That's interesting.
Yeah, no, I think
it's not even a Browns team. That's like he's good. Maybe he plays. It's the best Ball Mania.
I think he's banking on maybe Kareem Hunt being traded or Dearness Johnson being traded because he looked pretty good.
That's right. That could be right. Running back is just that's par for the course at running back.
That's right.
That's a team that runs it great and is committed to it. All right. I know what I'm going to do. Unless Team Oysters. I love oysters. So, all right, good. I'm taking Haskins of Tennessee.
Ooh, I like that.
One play away.
One play away. I like that.
Was that a Sticks? So you turned one play away into Come Sail Away. I like that. Somebody should run with that.
Run with it. I didn't even know who it was. I just knew I had heard that song before.
No, I just named that tune. I just
named that.
Got it.
Tune.
I got it.
Got it.
That was Come Sail Away by Sticks in the form of one play away. Or vice
when
versa.
You're in the deep end and when you're singing underwater in the deep end, that's what
that is. The deep end.
That's what it sounds.
That is what the deep end is all about.
Oh, I love it.
I just decided.
I love it. So
this is 17th round. Okay.
Yeah, two picks left. I love these drafts.
All right. I'm ready.
We might as well do one of these a week. It's been like 40 minutes. Fantastic.
I'm ready.
Now's the time to do what you wanted to do before. Just start throwing stuff at the wall and see if it sticks.
Well, my guys are a little obvious for what I meant. I'm going to take Brian Edwards.
Did you take Brian Edwards? Oh, Brian Edwards. Yeah. No, nice. Yeah. Did they?
But they're still a little obvious. Like you need a James Robinson. You need somebody that's an RB1 from nowhere.
Am I crazy? Is Brian Edwards not in Las Vegas anymore?
Atlanta.
Yeah, it says wide receiver LV. UnderDog, I didn't update it yet. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, I hope I didn't just lose my mind there. Yeah, no, I think that is what you mean with a little deep sleeper. All right, I'm on.
I think way deeper than that is what it's going to take.
I'm going to go. These two guys I've been taking this guy a lot. I took this guy in Buffalo on Sunday and then just bounced. I said, give me Justin Ross. Give me Ross and give me out of here.
Give me Ross and give me the keys.
That's right. I'm out of here. But no, again, he's a late round. He might not even make the team, but he might be a thing for best ball. Maybe he has 2 good weeks and whatever. But I mean, he's very talented. Everyone said he was a second round draft pick that has horrible back injury, back issues. So, crazier things have happened. Give me one good year. Give me one good year.
He's the player who was phenomenal as a freshman at Clemson and then went undrafted.
Yep.
Spinal issue. You said it.
That's him.
I want this round. I'll do another one of these because I want this round to be just like, I want Ben Gretsch to be like, who is that? I want to really just shock you with somebody who just knows everybody.
That's right.
And they still don't know who this guy is. And maybe there's a path that I can find and do it. I think I want to pick a tight end here probably. But if I do, there's no way it's going to be somebody like that because, all right, Shakir is pretty good.
Shakir, I was trying to decide between Ross and Shakir before I bounced and I'm like, you know what? Let me go with Ross, and then I got them both here. Granted, that was a dynasty league, but this isn't. But I like Shakir for the app. I mean, he might be their starting slot receiver. And they go four wideouts a lot, and they really really like him. Obviously, they took him, and a lot of people say, hey, he was a third round talent that fell to the fifth round. So we'll see. I mean, that's all kind of having a good imagination and hoping for the absolute best. But hey, rookie receivers, it's best ball, man. I just need, if I could get 2 touchdowns out of him this year, he'll probably start for me on both those weeks. So I like it. That's why I love taking receivers late because, you just need 2 or 3 touchdowns on the year. And every time a receiver scores, I heard this, and I don't have these fancy stats handy, but every time a receiver scores, they generate.
Angel gets its wings.
Angel gets its wings, and they will start for you. So, I like these late round receivers because they're going to get a deep one once or twice on the year and score, and so I like it.
I wonder if I got Patrick Sully there with the Hayden Hurst pick. He wanted the tight end, went for Uzama. No, Hayden Hurst is not somebody that Ben wouldn't know about. If it wasn't clear, I meant that as a compliment to Ben because he's somebody that he knows everybody.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
One of my favorite guys to listen to.
You wanted those guys to give you the sauce, apparently, is what you were looking for. How do I is this top one? How do I go back?
It's over.
It's over, but can I pull up the view full draft?
Sure.
Select a draft to see your team. I want us to view the full draft.
That's it.
Oh, it didn't work.
It's not over yet.
It's not over yet. I feel like there might be a glitch in the system. Well, let's go. Let's start with your team, and then we'll do a couple of the guys that were in the chat and guys that joined us here. But let's start with your team. I'll read it off. I'll read your team off for all the listeners out there. Quarterbacks: Matt Stafford, Tua Tagovailoa. I said that wrong. Jared Goff. Running backs: J.K. Dobbins, Kenneth Walker, Chase Edmonds, Darrell Henderson, Hassan Haskins. Ooh, talking about him later. Wide receivers: Cooper Kupp, A.J. Brown, Tyreek Hill, Terry McLaurin. 4 wide receiver start. Rondale Moore, Robbie Anderson, Brian Edwards. Tight ends: T.J. Hawkinson, Tyler Higbee, Hayden Hurst. Those would have been great tight ends drafted last year.
2 years ago.
2 years ago. So did you what was your strategy going in, and did you think you capitalized?
I mean, the one thing I kept saying I really didn't do, which was eventually you get to a place where you have to take crazy gambles. So I didn't take really any crazy gambles. 3-5-7-3 is by design. I wanted stacks. How could you not? I feel like there's just no way to not do that. So I picked Stafford over Prescott. I picked Tua a little early because of Edmonds and Hill. Wide receiver picks 1, 2, 3, 4 is interesting. Of course, it's obvious. Like you need everybody to hit, or you need enough guys to hit. So at running back, I need Dobbins to have the year you dreamed of when he was drafted out of Ohio State onto such a run-centric team, and then Walker to get the call in Seattle. Penny was really good. So, I don't love the chances of that, but I'm comfortable with it.
Yeah, no, and I really like the way you kind of approach tournaments where you're really just like, and this is something that's I don't know if it's always true I think it depends, but your ability to be like, you know what, I'm gonna pick these guys, and I just need to win this tournament. They need to be awesome. So there's no need to take, another running back, for an example, hoping that, handcuff and maybe he'll no, I'm going to take these guys. And if they're really good, I have a chance. And if they're not, then I don't. So I think that's a good way to approach it, because that's what you need, So yeah, for sure. No, I like that.
You need your best guys to be great to have any hope.
Absolutely. All right, let's do mine real quick. All right.
26.
What happened? Is that bad?
26.85. It's good. I've seen worse.
Let me see. 28. I've seen worse. Oh my God. It's like my golf game again. It's not good. I've seen worse. All right. So I went with a 2 quarterback, 2 tight end build for this one. I just went crazy on running backs and receivers. Quarterback Trey Lance and Derek Carr, James Conner, running back Breece Hall, Ramondre Stevenson, Gross, Michael Carter, Khalil Herbert, and then it asked me to look at the full draft. Here we go. Brian Robinson Jr., wide receiver Devontae Adams, Deebo Samuel, Cortland Sutton, Brandon Ayuk, Chris Olave, KJ Hamler, Justin Ross, Khalil Shakir, tight ends Dalton Schultz and Hunter Henry. So I don't really need any of my receivers to be great. I just need I've got 9. How many do I have? 3,
8.
6, 8. I just need them to be good every couple weeks. One of them, 2 of them, 3 of them every couple weeks. But no, so I like my running backs. Like you said, I'm going to need James Conner and Breece Hall to stay healthy and be really good. I've got Michael Carter there. I think he has a role for the Jets, even with Breece Hall around. And if one of them gets hurt, the other one should really take over and smash. I've got Khalil Herbert, who I really like, as at the very least, the handcuff there in Chicago. Then there's been a lot of talk about Brian Robinson. I hope not. I really do hope not, because I don't want him to get a lot of touches there. But if he does, I got him late. I got him in the at pick 176. Receivers, I took Devontae Adams in the first round, not handcuffed him, but paired him up with Derek Carr.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got Carr and him. And then I took Trey Lance to go with Deebo and Ayuk for that stack there. Cortland Sutton, Chris Olave, KJ Hamler, Cortland Sutton, a little thing going on there. And then Justin Ross, Khalil Shakir, 2 rookies that I like to make their teams and have, a couple good weeks. I don't need them to be amazing. I just need a couple good weeks out of them. I like Dalton Schultz a lot this year. Hunter Henry, he might be their number 1 pass option there, and definitely maybe their best red zone option there. So I need them to stay healthy. I need my tight ends and quarterbacks to stay healthy, because I've only got 2 of each. So, what do you think?
So Hall and Carter, that's no accident, right? The handcuff idea here, you're going to have one of them when you're getting late like that. Michael Carter, we both like him as a player. Does he play a third down role, or does he play at all, really is the question. So I hope that works out. Henry was a big touchdown guy for New England. New England is so, scary fantasy-wise. I mean, we could name 15 different skill positions on their roster, and it's really hard to sort them, I think. Prescott loved Schultz last year, and Cooper is gone, so that makes some sense. As long as he's good, he has to be good enough to carry the rest. He certainly was last year. And I think Olave is very exciting. Among the rookies, Olave really is my favorite. Jameson Williams in Dynasty, and Olave just generally. The other guys, Wilson and Burks and London, all have their traits and reasons to like them. But Olave is my favorite among the rookies. What
do you think? And real quick, so we can get to these other teams, but are you nervous about Jarvis Landry there at all affecting Olave?
Well, he really shouldn't. I mean, Olave is a first-round pick, and Landry is a late signing for not big money. So Olave should be their concern. And the way Winston plays, I could see either, but I think Olave should be a high priority for the Saints.
Yeah.
So not too much.
Good. Yeah, I feel the same way. But Landry's a nice guy, that like a late round guy. That I think, in best ball he could get a couple weeks for you. But
He's always been a fantasy favorite of mine. I've always been reading how he's not really that good, but can you also remember, if you've had Jarvis Landry teams, times when every time you looked up, he had another catch for 9 yards, and
I know,
another catch for 11, another catch for 6. Like, there were
Yeah.
some hilarious late afternoon, you're drinking your wine and just it's play after play as Jarvis Landry. You feel unstoppable.
or the other way around, where you're like, God, I gotta play, I gotta fade points from Jarvis Landry every time I turn around. It's a catch for 4 yards, just killing me.
The pro Landry version of that story is, a second growth Bordeaux, maybe a fur coat, whatever. Just you're in your underwear, you're watching, oh, this is hilarious. I can't believe these guys I can't believe my life. And the other side of it is, you're throwing a Mick Light bottle at the wall.
That's right.
And it smashes into 30 pieces, and it's just
disgusted.
a disaster. You're just disgusted.
I'm more the guy with the Mick Light and the underwear. I mix those two.
Now that you can't win with beer, I'm not saying that.
That's right. All right, so here's AJ Burns' team. Very, very good drafter. He posts a lot of his stuff on Twitter. And if you want to put your Twitter handle in the feed there, I'll share that. But quarterbacks, you want 2 quarterback, 2 tight end build as well. So Jalen Hurts, Kenny Pickett. He was really and I haven't even looked at the rest of his team. Let's see if he doubled down on that Kenny Pickett pick. Running backs, Joe Mixon, Tony Pollard, Ronald Jones, Tyrion Davis-Price, Marlon Mack. They signed him for a reason, and Sony Michel. And then we've got receivers, Mike Williams, Marquise Brown, Brandon Cooks, Chase Claypool. There it is. Kadarius Toney, Jamison Crowder, William Fuller, LaVisca Chenault. I wish you would have gone with George Pickens as well to really get that.
I was going to guess Pitts, because the way the rest of the team looked like an early tight end, but it's Andrews who said even earlier.
Yeah, there you go. Andrews and Goddard, and Goddard's another early tight end. So you went with the 2 elite tight end build, which is easier to get and do in the underdog, because it's not tight end premium. I like that idea of coming into the draft. I'm going to get 2 elite tight ends. I don't have to spend premium picks on them. I mean, Andrews, he took it the 1-2 turn, but and then just kind of building around those guys. That's interesting. I really like Jamison Crowder as well. I mean, I would be drafting Crowder where you were drafting. Well, people weren't drafting Bills receivers, like they're kind of their secondary receivers, like Cole Beasley. They weren't drafting him as high as he should have been, but like he was going like the 13th, 14th round last year and in the year before. He's a guy I would be taking in that Beasley realm, because that's what he could be, with maybe a little bit more yards after catch. But what do you think of the team, Mike?
I think Goddard is probably to put somebody with Hurts, which, fine.
A stack, yep.
Pickett and Claypool is fine. Claypool's really interesting. I mean, I like him. I think most people like him a lot as a dynasty asset. He's up there announcing the pick of Pickens.
Incredible.
Claypool is a stud. So I certainly want to have him. I don't know what kind of room there is. The combination of shaky quarterback outlook with Deontay Johnson and Pickens, and Najee Harris catches the ball, even the tight end. I'm hopeful for Claypool, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So, can I show you, since we're on a Hurts team, something I'm doing? I can be quick here because I know you want to show other teams, but in FFPC.
Yeah. Oh, I see it there. Yeah. Let me pull it up.
So you can tell me if this is overkill, because I think it is. I'm on the clock as Team 11 in their best ball tournament. Hurts, AJ Brown, Goddard, Devontae. Like, Hurts, can I get Mike quick at the end of this draft as well?
That's right. Hurts, AJ Brown, Goddard, Devonta. Yeah, 10th round Devonta. So nice. 10th round Devonta's nice. Jerry Jeudy in the late 7th, getting that discount. Is this a slow draft, Mike? Obviously, yeah. You're not drafting right now.
I'm up here. If you want me to go tonight, I will.
That's right. Oh, of course, obviously. Saquon in the 4th. Come on. Oh, again,
Superflex best ball tournament.
Yep. I love these best ball tournaments, these Superflex tournaments. Dobbins. Oh, I love it. I love this team. Big Mike. Come on.
It's 4 Eagles though. Could that actually work?
Absolutely. Okay. For sure. I mean, don't take any more. But yeah, 4 Eagles could definitely work.
I should be done at this point.
Yeah, don't take any more Eagles. I mean, it's as I want to say that's as deep as you want to go for a team, but that's as deep as you really could go probably for a team. So
probably.
No, I like it. No, that's fine because you didn't reach on any of them. You got good value on them, so I like it for sure.
Thanks.
And I know you're happy because I know how much you like those Eagles, but yeah, I Chase Claypool. So I like Claypool. I like Pickens better as like a play. I think Pickens is a better player. Not that matters for this year, but anyways, if I'm doing best ball, and AJ said in the chat that Pickens got sniped from him. If I'm doing best ball, I love the idea of a Claypool Pickens stack there. Grab them both, and if one of them has a big game, you're all set. And if one of them turns into nothing, I don't think Claypool will turn into nothing. But like if Pickens isn't good or gets hurt or whatever, then you got to steal out of Claypool. So I like this. I like this build. I would have liked to have seen AJ go with a better second quarterback. I know he went with a little mini Steeler stack there and was trying to get Pickens, but I think when you're going to go 2 quarterbacks, you got to have a safer second quarterback there. But his tight ends are elite. I like his receiver. I love Tony. I like his receivers and his running backs. You know, if Zeke goes down, if CEH goes down, if Price wins a role there, one of those things happens. His running backs should be in decent shape as long as Mixon stays healthy. All right, and also share AJ's Twitter. He does a lot of stuff on Twitter there. He does a lot of best ball stuff at AJ Burns _FF.
Cool.
So check him out there. All right, we'll do one more. We'll do Kaz. Where's the Kaz? King Kaz.
Team 6.
King Kaz, 88. Let's see here. Quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes, Trevor Lawrence. Running backs, Josh Jacobs, Cordarrelle Patterson, Rashad White, Kenneth Gainwell, and Samaje Perine.
White is interesting, isn't he?
Yes.
Like they drafted him. It's the right team, but does he play?
Yeah. I mean, I think you're right. They drafted him, and he's the right team. I think he's one of those guys that you just take and you close your eyes, right? You just take him and you go, you know what? We can't overanalyze this. He's a decent player, went to the right team, goes to the right situation. He's not going to supplant Leonard Fournette, but Leonard Fournette isn't super young. He isn't like, he has been injured before, like all these running backs. You're an injury away from having Leonard Fournette. And it's not like he can't produce what Fournette can produce. Fournette hasn't been super efficient in his career. So yeah, like Rashad White, that's a dart. It's a dart thrower. It's a pretty nice one. So
also age a little bit.
He's not right, exactly. I think he's 2017
draft.
Yeah, exactly. With McCaffrey and all those guys. So
right.
No, of course. Yeah, I like Rashad White. I probably like him more as an RB4, but whatever. Mike Evans, Deontay Johnson, Jerry Jeudy, Drake London, Christian Kirk, Alan Lazard, Mecole Hardman, David Bell, Marvin Jones, tight ends, Kelsey and Logan Thomas. So he went 2 quarterbacks, 2 tight ends, went elite quarterback, elite tight end stack there with Mahomes and Kelsey. He also went with Mecole Hardman. And that was it for the Chiefs.
That's what you do when you draft Kelsey early like that in this, I think, is you're planning on Mahomes. Yes.
Yeah. What else do you think? I know we've talked about Lawrence before. I like Lawrence this year where you can get him. I think we'll find out if he's good this year because they added so many weapons. Not great elite weapons, but if they stay healthy, they're decent enough. Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram, a pass catching running backs that they have there. I think a lot to go along with. Oh, did he have Chark too? Oh, Chark left. Chark left anyways. Yeah. Kirk, that's right. Marvin Jones has got the stack there with Marvin Jones. So I like.
Wouldn't expect anything less from Nick.
That's right. Very clever. Very witty drafter here.
I think I'd rather have Chris Evans than Samaje Perine.
Why?
Younger, pass catcher. I mean, they went, obviously, Perine gets the ball in the last play of the Super Bowl, for Cincinnati. So he has had some status there. But Evans, I think, is a little bit explosive. And so you're sort of betting against the grain because of what they've shown already. But I think Evans is a little bit sneaky hot in late rounds. I don't think he was drafted tonight. 18 rounds, I doubt he was drafted.
No, I wonder if, and I'm just interested in about like the whole Samaje Perine pick. Like, does he like Samaje Perine, or does he just like, hey, I want a player that's playing in that game against the Bills, and maybe if Mixon, I mean, this is how deep you get with some of these tournaments, some of these builds, some of these thought processes. Like, I just want a player that's an injury away from being in a game against the Bills, week 17, to be in a shootout. Like that's like the point that it gets to. And it's not even that far-fetched. It's not even that crazy. Like, yeah, I've got maybe the handcuff running back who, if Mixon's hurt, or maybe if they have a play, they won't have a playoff spot locked up because there's 2 weeks left. But
no, you're right. And Mixon last year at this time, people were always talking about his injuries.
Right.
So Perine could be huge. It's a good offense. He could be huge.
So that's the point where like some of these builds get to is like you're just like, and it's the clever stuff. And I think it was Damian Williams last year or 2 years ago that was kind of that guy. So I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. I like kind of studying these strategies of everybody, and that was fun. That was a good time.
I know he's good, Nick.
Yes.
All right. So want to do this one FFPC pick real quick?
Yeah, let's do it.
And then wrap it. You want me to put that back up?
Put that back up there. Bring up the board. Bring up the picks, and
there you go.
All right, it's coming. I think here. Let's see. There we go. All right. Can you bring up the draft room so we can see who's available? Maybe.
Sure.
Or do you not want to show your queue to the millions of people?
Hang on a second. I don't have a queue.
I don't have a queue.
I guess I have 3 names in the queue. Hang on a second. I'll do that for you.
I like it. I'll wave at them.
Hey, what just happened?
Listen, I learn on this show.
Look at you.
You keep telling everyone how easy it is to say, so I'm just going to go ahead and say it.
That's right. It is. It's fun, too.
It is fun to say. I don't know if it's right, but I'm going to say it that way.
All right. So this is pick 2131.
Did you do this on purpose? What round are we in?
11.
Oh. I mean, you know how I feel about Sky Moore. Did you just put him in your queue to get me all lathered up?
No.
Do you have any Chiefs? No, you have 19 Eagles. That's right.
I have 4 Eagles, and Gainwell might still be out there.
No, you're not thinking.
I have 4 Eagles. Need-wise, it would only be tight end. And there was a little bit of run, and there's one behind me. So I don't think it's really obvious or not obvious. I could do what I did tonight. I think unless I get talked out of it, I would do what I did tonight, which is put Higbee with Stafford.
Okay. Do you think Higbee wouldn't make it back to you? I mean, from an ADP perspective, I think Claypool and Sky Moore go way ahead of Higbee. Am I crazy?
No. Well, Moore, according to Fantasy Mojo, Moore goes pick 130, Claypool 141, and Higbee 137 in between.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So the guy behind me does need a tight end, and if he picks 2 of those wide receivers, good for him. He's got 4. So I'm going to take Higbee, and then we'll see.
Yeah, Higbee's the second tight end there available. Yeah. Yeah. And there's also some fallback options. So if he does take Claypool and Moore, then you can still take I like I know you love Russell Gage, but I like the Kadarius Toney too as well.
Yeah, there's a few names.
Tyler Boyd for that Week 17 game. There's some other name. Exactly. There's some names to kind of to contemplate there.
If he takes the two guys in my queue, he's watching.
He's watching. That's right.
And Gallup, he has Prescott. So Gallup.
Uh-oh. Yeah. Gallup's a nice pick. Would be a nice pick for him. But yeah, no, I like that. I like that live pick. Oh man,
this will be a fun moment to look back on when I win it.
Absolutely. When you win the underdog, you mean for millions of dollars?
That on the same night, I win both. The super flex best ball and the underdog. Tyler Higbee. So I just drafted him twice on the same show. I do think he is a good player.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it's now ancient history, but what he showed at the end of the season when nobody knew who he was the first time was like, okay, this guy can play. Now, some of this is, yeah, we know that they can all play, but situation, volume, the relationship with the quarterback. Well, the guy already just went.
I was gonna say, was that my computer that said I was? Oh man, he is listening. You're done.
Am I on deck?
You're done. You're done for.
Let me see what just happened.
But yeah,
it'd be fun, right? He went Dameon Pierce.
Yeah, Dameon. Oh yeah, you weren't expecting that.
He was waiting for me. So anyway, I feel like Higbee is good, and I like Irv Smith just fine. I like Komet just fine. I like those arguments. You are on the clock. Again. But I'm fine with Higbee. Tyler Lockett was the other pick. Fine.
Nice.
Look at this. I'm going to go again.
Yeah, let's do it.
Claypool or Sky Moore?
Don't feel obligated because I'm a big Sky Moore guy. But go ahead and trust your. I like both of them. I like the idea you can go Claypool and then maybe get Pickens in a couple rounds later. You can just go Sky Moore and win the whole thing. Whatever you want to do.
Claypool then come back with a Pittsburgh quarterback.
Or Pickett. I mean, I don't necessarily think
they're both gone.
Who is? Oh, that's
Pickett
right.
and Trubisky are both gone.
That's right. Yeah. Interesting. Do you need that? Did you need the quarterback to make that happen?
No. See, now or never point. I'm at 2 the first 2 rounds. I'm not at a third one yet, and now I feel like it's just a matter. It's a guessing game. Like the best quarterbacks here.
Yeah, who's available?
32 quarterbacks in.
Baker, Darnold, Ritter. Yeah, I mean, at this point, you're just. Yeah, at this point, you just you're riding with 2. It's ride or die.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to take Claypool because I like him more here. I mean, I'm not anti-Sky Moore or anti-Adam, but I'm going to do Claypool here.
Yeah, and just cue up George Pickens for when the time is right and you're drinking that wine you were talking about.
Stripping down first.
Yep.
That revolution will not be broadcast. All right, so that is
done.
Yeah,
no,
I'm not going to have another pick tonight. I'm pretty sure. 6-hour clock and 24 picks or 20 picks first. Okay, so this was a long show.
Wow, holy cow! An hour and 13 minutes. Okay, what do you think? Great show. I loved it. We got to do more of these.
It was fun. We didn't even have Tom Jones coming on to play Supermarket Finds. So
we had the sticks performing.
We had sticks. One play away. That's so good. All right. Back on Thursday, we'll talk about our Empire Niagara draft from Sunday and what happened in round 1 and round 2. Round 2 is very interesting in these rookie drafts. I mean, you have very usable guys, but it's a draft that's been panned. So we'll spend some time on round 2, talk about whatever news is up as well. And that'll be on Thursday night, all these same channels. Thanks for watching. Mike Shope, Adam Krautwurst. See you Thursday on the Deep End.